All right, hey, welcome back. Day number 6. Vic here, back with you again. I hope you are doing awesome, my friend. How are you? Listen, we're almost halfway through the program, right? And so far we have been learning a lot, and it's important. When you build when you build a foundation for something giant, for a skyscraper, you want to make sure that the foundation is laid correctly, right? So starting today, we're turning the corner a little bit, and we're going to be putting everything together. Yesterday Jason walked you through the creation of the landing page, right? And how do you, the white space and the balancing of the landing page to make sure that you understand what goes on behind the scenes. And that's very, very important. What we are doing starting today is we're taking all the knowledge that we have been going through, right? And everything that we've been learning up to this point over the last 5 days. And we're bringing everything together, and we're actually constructing our own custom funnel. And it's very, very exciting. Make sure that you pay attention to what we're gonna do today. Follow along. It's very, very simple. I'm gonna take a complex subject, right, and task, and I'm gonna try to simplify it for you and make it as simple as possible so that you can follow along, you can model with, and just literally follow along with us here as Mark and Chris and myself. We're gonna do this. And you can run with us. It's going to be very, very easy. I promise you. If you follow along, you'll have no problems doing what we're doing. All right? So let's get into it. We have Mark and Chris. How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
How are you?
Awesome. Another day, I'm doing awesome. I'm pumped up because we're going to be talking about creating our funnel. And this is where the rubber, meets the road, so to speak, right? So let me get, just like with anything, we have specific outcomes for every single day. And so today, here is what we're going to do. We're actually going to, there's a lot to get through today, right? So, but I don't want to cut any corners, and I won't, okay? With you guys, same thing with you, my friend. We're not going to cut any corners. I want to make sure you guys get this, and we're going to do this together, all right? Here is the outcome for today. Before today is over, we are going to turn our campaign blueprint, right, that we created a couple days ago,
right,
into the actual custom strategic funnel. And we're going to build this funnel from scratch. Okay, we're going to do it together. We're going to do it together with you as well, so you have no problem doing this. And of course, we're going to be using SiteSuite. Second thing, what we're going to do is we are going to create what's called opt-in landing pages. These are going to be our front. Consider this as like a door to your funnel. Okay, a door to your world. It's very, very important. And one of the things that I want to do is create multiple versions of landing pages, and we're gonna do it together. So it's gonna be pretty easy for you, my friend, to follow along as well, because you will see every single click I will make on the computer. Number 3 is we are going to get ourselves a domain name, and you don't have to worry about what that means. You guys never done that before. That's okay. But we're gonna pick the domain name, and then we are going to link that domain name to a funnel. Okay, and I'm going to explain to you how that works and why we need to do that. And finally, we're going to set up what's called a funnel default homepage. Okay. So when somebody goes to your domain, for example, markbarley.com, right? Mm-hmm. Where do you want them to end up? And so we're going to get all that set up, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited. I am ready to go. Now, why do we need to do this? Let me show you guys. This is important. Okay, very, very important. So you remember this diagram, right, from a couple days ago? Do you remember this, right? Should look familiar to you. Listen, if you have been following these days in order that we're doing them, which you should be, if you are here at this, got to this point, this should look familiar to you. If you missed out, if you looking at this, and you're like, what is this, Vic? That means you missed something. You want to go back and you want to review it, okay? But 3 levels of marketing, right? We talked about how amateurs get traffic directly to the landing page or the offer that they're promoting, which is a bad direction to go. Professionals, they're building their own little world, okay, before they'll transfer that subscriber to the offer page. And then authoritative approach is you own what you promote, but you build it within this realm right here. Okay, so what we're gonna do today, you guys, is we're gonna take and we're gonna build this world right here. Great. Okay, and then we're gonna expand it as we go on. So before we start sending traffic, which is gonna be probably gonna a couple of days or so, before we start sending traffic anywhere, we want to make sure that this is done, it's solid, it's tested, it's working, and then we just funnel it with traffic. And the idea is to have you guys make money.
Great.
That's right.
Before the 14 days is over.
Sounds good.
All right. Listen, you ready to go? let's go ahead and dive into this. There's going to be a lot of hands-on training, and it's going to be like a workshop style. So I will show you everything that is on my computer screen, right? And Mark and Chris, what would I think the best thing for us to do? Here's the thing: is you guys are going through this program as we're developing it, right? And you, my friend, watching us right here, you like virtually with us in the room, but to condense everything, to save the time, and to be as efficient and as effective as possible, what we're going to do is I think that it's going to be best for us to work together on your accounts, because you guys are, let's kind of recap a little quick. So you are an elite member of High Traffic Academy.
Yes.
You got all the tools that we told you to get, right?
Of course.
So you guys all ready to go. So you have all the accounts necessary. I'm just going to work with you using your accounts.
Okay.
Okay. This way, I think we're going to save some time, and then you, my friend, watching us right here, you can just literally watch what we're doing and just follow along. Pretty simple, right? So first thing I'm going to do is, for me to build that world, it's going to start with us using a system, and the system that we use is called SiteSuite. Okay, I told you guys that you get it free with High Traffic Academy Elite membership. So what I will do, Mark, is go ahead and log in here, if you would, for me.
Sure.
Into the SiteSuite account. And we're doing this live, of course, so we're not going to, none of this stuff is going to be edited, maybe just outside of, Mark's private information, like the email and personal contact information, that kind of stuff. We don't want people to blow up Mark's inbox.
No, we don't want that.
No, we don't want that.
There's a lot of people watching this right now. While Mark is doing that, let me talk to you for a second, my friend. Listen, I don't know your level of commitment, and the reason, or the fact that you are here right now watching us on day 6. Did you know that most people in life, right? Most people who are failures in life, they'll never stick through anything, past like 2 or 3 days, right? If there is like a 14-day or a 30-day program, most people who are 98%ers is what I call them. Right? They never get what they really want. They're just talking about it, but they never get it. Those people will basically, typically fall off in like 2nd or 3rd, maybe 4th day at the most. You are still here. That tells me that you're serious. Congratulations. Okay? Continue to go through this. We're about halfway mark, almost halfway mark. Okay? We're almost there. In the next 8 days, the agenda is to help you making money. Okay? I'm excited. All right, so Mark, you got yourself logged into SiteSuite. Looks like you've been playing with this for a little bit right now, right?
I cheated, yeah.
Already? What do you think of this?
It's great.
I mean, you were just like playing with this by yourself, just clicking around?
Yeah, I need some instruction, I think, but so far it seems pretty easy to use. So
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome.
A lot of ideas flowing already.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk you guys through this. I'm going to talk it through as well. Okay, so people watching this, I want to have I want to make sure that we have it built, obviously, before we start trying traffic. But at the same time, I want to make sure that you guys have a clear understanding why we do what we do, right? So that you can repeat the process. Same thing with you, my friend. So you can repeat the process. We are going to start a brand new funnel. Okay. Let me go ahead and do this. Go full screen. And I'm going to click this little plus sign. That should look familiar to you, right? You played with that. And we're going to start a brand new funnel. Now, when I say a funnel, I'm going to basically map out my entire business, you guys, right, on a canvas. And that's what's really, really cool about SiteSuite that no other, funnel building software and system does, is this system allows us to literally build our entire business on a canvas so we can see it. And because this is a custom promotion that we're doing, this is a custom project, we're going to build it from scratch. So here, see, I can have different funnel templates. I can go from anything from basic to intermediate to advanced. I mean, I can, if I just want to build a funnel that's going to consist of, let's say, an opt-in page here and a thank you page, I just pick this one, right? If I wanted to get something that's, let me just give you guys an idea what's possible here, like really, really get crazy with this, right?
Wow.
And really have a lot of fun, I can go for something like this, and I can create my entire, say, if I click on this funnel here, for example, again, this is super advanced and we're not gonna use it for now anyways, but this will give you an idea of what's possible, right, to what you can do. Like this can be your entire business on the canvas, and all you need to do is just fill in the blanks. So all we're gonna do here today is we're gonna create it from scratch. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to select this empty build from scratch funnel. Okay, you following along, my friend? Right? empty funnel. I'm going to select this template, and we are going to create a custom funnel based on what we need, okay, based on that worksheet that we filled out a couple days ago. So right here, this is our business right now, okay? It's blank. There is nothing on it, okay? Right. The first thing we're going to do is, see if we're just going to consult this diagram right here. We're going to create this, okay? The first thing here is what, Mark?
Traffic.
Traffic, okay? So there's different traffic sources. You know, at each of these arrows, you know, represent a traffic source. So we're going to go here and click on, see it says traffic sources here?
No. There you go.
Okay, see that? Okay, traffic sources. I'm going to click on that, and here I can select different traffic sources that I can, you know, that I think I'm going to use. Okay. These can change at any time later, and this is so much fun. Listen, if you're about to see something that is really, 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 really awesome. Okay, as we're building this from scratch. So let's say I'm going to get traffic from Facebook, a pretty popular platform. We would be kind of foolish not to use it, which will utilize Facebook. I'm going to simply look. What I'm going to do, and for you, my friend, watching this, look, I'm just going to click on it, and I'm going to drag it to the canvas, and I'm going to let it go, right? Boom. See, just like that. Then I'm going to do email traffic, okay? We're going to go to, you know, perhaps a Click Promise Network. When we get to traffic, we'll talk about it, but I will certainly use email traffic because this is a low-hanging fruit. It's really, really fast. It's really easy to get. I'm going to just drag it and put it there, okay? Go back to my traffic sources, and let's say if I want to do, you know, maybe perhaps some kind of, you know, banner media or something like that, I can, I'm just going to drag other traffic sources, which I can name later when we get to it, okay? And of course, I can add as many traffic sources as I possibly want, okay? It's unlimited. You can add as many as you want. So for now, we're just going to stick with 3, okay? Now, next, going back to our little diagram here, what do we have?
Landing page.
A landing page. You're learning, Chris. That's good. All right. So landing page. Now, what's a landing page? What's the purpose of a landing page?
Relates to your traffic or grabs their attention.
Okay. And what is it designed to do specifically for you?
I think in this case, what we're trying to do is so create a headline that grabs their attention, then get their email address, have them opt in.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. This becomes a door to our entire universe that we're building here, right? This is our door. And when they opt in, they will go to our list, which will connect and set it up over the next, you know, today and tomorrow as well. Okay, and then we're going to take them through the process there. Okay, so next step in the funnel here is go back, is we need to create a landing page. So all I'm going to do, look, see it says pages, right? I'm going to click on pages tab, and here it gives me options for different pages that I can create within the system. So if I'm looking for a lead capture page, it's this one right here. I'm going to click it, I'm going to drag it and drop it. Boom, just like that. Okay. Now next, after that page, typically when they opt in, they have to go to what's called a thank you page. Okay, so somebody opted in, their email will be added to your autoresponder, to your list that we created yesterday or day before yesterday. And then at the same time, we need to redirect them to a thank you page, right? To another page that's going to say, hey, thank you for opted in or subscribing or requesting more information, and then take them through the process. So, thank you page is important. Okay, I'm going to take. See, it says thank you page. Just grab it, drop it here. Boom, thank you page. Okay. Now, so far so good, right? Thank you page is actually part of this process right here. Okay, this is the first page that they go through after they opted in. And of course, they'll be added to our list. Now, see there's other pages behind this one, right? See, this is my system. This is you guys, this is what makes me or helps me and allows me to make a lot of money in this industry, is understanding how to construct this properly. Okay? Super, super, super important. Now, these pages I call their content pages. Okay? If you recall a couple of days ago when we did that campaign blueprint, there was something called the journey, right? And there was 4 sections we talked about the journey. And as a matter of fact, if you don't have your sheet with you there, pull it out, right? You'll see on the bottom it says there's going to be 4 steps we're going to take them through the journey, and it's designed to help us get closer to our prospects, right? Give them value, bond with them, and bring them into our universe. It creates you and turns you into this magnetic persona online, right? If done properly. So we need those pages. We don't need them today, necessarily, but we need them for, the first, probably, right after we start running traffic and getting those subscribers, we'll come back to them. But because it's in the blueprint, I want to include it in my campaign structure, okay? So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to pages here, and I will select content page, okay? I'm going to drop the content page here. And there was, if you guys recall, the journey consisted of 4 steps, 4 milestones, so to speak, right? I typically would like to start with 4, okay? Now, my friend, if you're watching this, if you have never done anything like this before, okay, it's going to be very, very simple, okay? It's not necessarily easy. Listen, if this was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be millionaires, but it's simple, okay? It's understanding the principle, it's understanding the strategy, and working with the strategy and just implementing it. And the reason I wanted to capture everything on screen for you is so that there is no room for error. Does that make sense? And then as an elite member, you guys are elite members, hopefully you are an elite member, we take this and we go in even further in our elite-only trainings. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about how that works and everything. So listen, all I'm going to tell you right now is just watch what I do and do that, right? Pause the video and just follow along. You should be fine. Okay? All right, so I'm going to put 4 content pages. I'm going to make them a little bit smaller, just like that. So I don't have to scroll. All right, number 1, number 2. Let's make them a little bit smaller here, like that. Number 3. Okay. And we'll get one more, number 4. These will become very, very important pieces of our funnel, of our strategic selling system, okay? Now, we need to, again, going back to our diagram here, so we just created this, okay? At least outline the pages. Now we have to do something here, right? So there'll be going to our list, which is our campaign, right, for this particular system. So what I will do here in SiteSuite, and this is really, really awesome, you guys. See, I can go and I can say, see this actions and scripts? I'm going to click on that. See, it says email sequence. Okay. Email sequence, I will drag it and drop it. So that basically means that I have my skeleton of my system just outlined here. Okay, so I can see all the pieces of the equation. Right? Now, next, I need to connect these somehow, right? So how does this all connect and how do we make it work? Well, if you're building this yourself, you have to know HTML, you have to code, you have to do the PHP coding and all that stuff. I personally, I could care less about that. I can't code a page, right? Nor do I care, because I can do something like this. Right. Now, you can hire somebody to do it for you. Probably going to be really expensive. SiteSuite does it with ease. Look at this. Right. So how do I go when somebody visits Facebook, right? My Facebook link, and I want to send them to the thank you page, right? Look, see this little arrow? I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it and connect and drop. Boom. Okay, see that? Same thing with email traffic. Boom, connected. All right, boom. So basically I'm telling people if they're coming from Facebook, okay, this traffic will go straight to this landing page right here. Okay, how awesome is that, right? No need to code, no need to know HTML or any of the, coding or programming, language at all. So now when they opt in here, where do we want them to go? Okay, with the whole visual interface here, everything is on canvas. I just basically decide where I want to send them to. So when they opted in here, I want them to go to my email sequence, right? So I'm going to connect it here. I'm going to grab the arrow, and I'm going to connect it to the email sequence. Okay, perfect. Got it there. And then at the same time, I also want to connect them and send them to a thank you page. So I'm just going to do that, right? How easy is that? Right? You getting excited yet? All right. This is just the beginning. This is only the beginning. Now, check it out. When they are in my email sequence, this is my list right here. This is where I'm building my list, right? I'm going to nurture those people. I'm going to give them value. I'm going to communicate with them later on. And we're going to do it together. I'm going to walk you through every single step of the process. we need to be able to send them at one point in time to these content pages, right? To those 4 steps. How do we do that? Just like we connected the rest of the pages, I'm going to drag and drop, okay? And one of the days, I'm going to send them to content number 1. A little bit later on, you know, maybe in the second week or something, content number 2, and so forth. So we just connected.
So this would be a link inside of that email that you sent them.
You
They'd click
got
on
it.
it and land on that page.
You
Okay,
got
great.
it, Mark. You got it. Why do we need this? I'm going to tell you why do we need this, okay? I'm going to go into, you don't have this turned on, but I'm going to go to your account. I'm going to go this Math Scientist only. See, it says built-in tracking. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to click on OK. And then when we come back, okay, I need to name the funnel, by the way. So I'm going to name this funnel. I'm going to say Project Breakthrough. Okay? I'm going to name it. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. Now here's my Project Breakthrough funnel that we just created. Okay, I'm going to come back. Now see this button popped up called Stats? Now look what happens. When I click on the Stats button, right? What the system is going to do is to say, hey, select your date range. Let's say I wanted to see how many visitors, how many conversions, you know, what's going on in my business, and I just select the date range. Of course, we don't have any traffic fitting here yet, but immediately I can see how many visitors I've got from Facebook, you know, what percentage of them opted into the landing page, how many visitors I got to the landing page from each one of these traffic sources, how many opted into the email, how many went to the, you know, to this page, this page, this page. Everything is on the canvas, you know, in front of me right now, okay? There is no other system in the online marketing space that gives you this type of visual for your entire business.
That's
Okay?
really cool.
That is awesome. Now, what we're going to do here is we are going to create multiple landing pages. I'm going to hide my stats so I don't have to mess around with them. Okay? I want to create multiple landing pages. Let me tell you guys why. Remember I told you to get one of the assignments, I think a couple days ago, was for you to get the tracking, traffic tracking tool, right? And you guys got it, called ClickMagick. The reason for that is because we want to be able to split test and rotate, right, and optimize our traffic. If I'm getting traffic to this landing page, which we're going to create here in a moment, and this landing page is not really resonating, or maybe it's not converting as good, right? I don't want to lose any traffic whatsoever. So I want to always have my traffic going to at least 2 or 3 different landing pages at the same time, okay? So I can take a look which one is converting the most, and I keep it, and then the one that's converting the least, I remove it, right? And I always optimize my system. It's very, very important. Very few people do that, but I always want to outperform myself, right? And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna build this like it needs to be built, and I'm gonna show you how to do that too, okay? Now, I'm gonna send these traffic sources to this landing page, but I'm also going to add another landing page here. So I'm gonna go to Pages and drag another landing page, okay? Just like that. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually going to drag another one. So I'm gonna work with 3 different landing pages. I have 3 different traffic sources, right? So I'm gonna drag 3 different landing pages. For example, if I target Facebook, okay, I might have one of these landing pages be specific for Facebook, okay? So it might be, you know, maybe this landing page is gonna be for email traffic only, and maybe I do Google PPC later. You know, you guys are elite members. You'll learn about, and obviously you're members of High Traffic Academy. We teach traffic. So we teach a lot of different traffic sources. There's, you know, if you want to become really good at pay-per-click marketing, for example, well, you need a landing page that will be Google compliant, right? Not necessarily something that's going to work for email is going to work for Google PPC. So that's the reason I want to have multiple, right? And so we'll play with it and we'll tweak the system later on as we go as well. But our lowest hanging fruit right now is we're going to create 3. I'm going to roll with them. So when we send traffic, we have pages to work with, okay? So same thing here. I can, you know, I'm able to connect these landing pages. But what I will do is I will do this right here, you guys, okay? I'm going to go to traffic sources, and I will do same traffic sources, okay, per landing page. And the reason I'm going to do that is so that I can rotate the links. I'm going to explain it to you once we actually set it up and start, you know, activating it. Everything's going to make sense to you.
Okay.
But I'm going to send same traffic sources to, you know, to different links or different landing pages. I'm going to pull each one of those 3 links, right? For example, I'll set it up and I'll explain it to you. I'm going to do email marketing, okay, just like with the first one. And then I'll do other. Other can be anything, okay? So that's that one. And I'll connect these here. I'll explain to you the theory behind that in a minute here, okay? So the reason for that is because I can take a Facebook link, okay, which will generate here when we start drawing traffic. I'll take this link, and I'll take this link, and I'm going to put them on a rotator. And this link will go to this page, and this link will go to this page. And I don't have to promote 2 separate links. I'll promote one link, which is a rotator link, and it's going to basically rotate evenly between these pages, right, which are unique URLs or unique streams of traffic. And then I'll see which one of these will perform the best. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
And so I will do the same process for a third one, and I'll have 3 landing pages converting and rotating per each traffic source. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be like mad scientists over here, you know, split testing things and working with things. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it's very, very simple process. You're following me, right? So 3 separate traffic sources per landing page, and I'm going to replicate it 3 times. Okay, I can move this one up here a little bit.
So Vic, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So how long would you typically let a campaign run when you're testing between different landing pages to see, you know, if you've given it enough time to actually perform?
I'm not necessarily looking for time. I'm looking for the amount of traffic that I sent.
Okay.
So I you know, typically to get a good test, I want to send a few hundred visitors to a page to really get, you know, a good idea for the conversions.
Okay.
So if I got like, you know, 5 visitors, it's not really enough data for me to, you know, to establish whether it's good or not. But if I have, you know, 300 visitors, for example, then, you know, it gives me a good idea whether, you know, how well it converts. Make sense? So we're going to go after, you know, getting enough data rather than time. Good question. All right, so I just wanted to compress those a little bit. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to set this up. This will become very, very important part in our business. And again, my friend, if you're watching here right now, right, you know, if you should be an elite member. If you're an elite member, follow along. Just pause the video, do what I do. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible for you. You know, people, you know, we have some tremendous programs here and trainings inside of High Traffic Academy. And one thing that we are really, really good at is teaching people, you know, sometimes complex things in a way that's really, really easy to understand. So that's one of the things that I can assure you of. If you just pay attention and model, be a good modeler. Okay, that's it. As I'm doing this, sometimes I can't talk and work at the same time, so forgive me. It's fun. So Mark, look, we're gonna do this same process for the third landing page, right? Any questions so far?
No.
Okay.
It's easy.
Very clear.
Very clear. Now, check it out. We have a thank you page for this particular landing page, right? Now, I would like to typically have a thank you page, a specific thank you page that's you know, specifically for that particular landing page. Okay? So there is congruency. I want if somebody sees, you know, this landing page is got a background picture of, you know, a family in the background, right? I want this thank you page to be an extension of that. I want it to be congruent. And if this one is targeting, let's say for example, this page is going to target people who want to work from home, and this page is going to target people who are, you know, family oriented, and there is different themes, there is different messages. I want thank you page to be congruent and kind of like an extension, so it makes sense, right? So I'm going to drop and add 2 more thank you pages to the funnel here. Okay, and look, all we need to do is connect this page to this thank you page, and then the same thing for the third one, just like that. Okay, shiki boom, bada boom, as we like to say here in our secret headquarters, right? And Jason would say, snap, crackle, pop. All right, so now we still have our main autoresponder, our main email sequence, right? So I don't need to have, these can be separate or they can be together, okay? The way we're gonna do them is we're gonna keep these generic enough so that we can deliver value equally to people all across the board on our list. Okay, so, you know, they're looking for, you know, how do I make money from home, or, you know, I'm a family, I want to make money for family. So they're still in the same bucket, so to speak, right, in the same pool, and we're going to keep those the same there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this landing page to the same email sequence and this landing page to the same email sequence as well. Okay? And you guys, we just created a skeleton for our funnel. Okay?
Fast and easy.
That's amazing how easy it is.
It is easy, huh?
Yeah.
And it didn't take long
No.
either.
No.
And
Not at
this me explaining this to you. Now, if I was to, to program this, see, when I connect that arrow, what the system is doing is it's taking the code from this page and this traffic source and all these, and it just does what it does in the background with the code and literally writes a script for me. And I can do that, and I can change it with a click of a mouse. And what's really, really cool is, let's say if I wanted to send, if I didn't, if I wanted to remove this particular traffic source, I just exit out. So if I wanted to, so basically what we just did, you guys, is we just took like a developer's, what would take a developer like literally, maybe a good 4 or 5 days of coding, and we just created that in like 10 minutes.
Wow.
Okay, the power of SiteSuite. That's why I was telling you to get SiteSuite, right? And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, we need to fill this out, and we need to actually create these pages. Okay. The cool thing about doing that is, all I need to do is double-click on this particular page. It opens up this template library, okay? And I can view all templates here. We've got 140 templates that's pre-built already, okay, for us. So all I can do is I'm just gonna scroll down, and you can just basically pick and choose which one you want to use for that particular page, and then you can add it to your heart content, okay? And so one of the templates here, let's just scroll through this. For Project Breakthrough, I want to have different angles. I want to have a video version, which, by the way, I'm going to make you guys do a video. Have you ever done video in your life?
No, I mean, it's our family.
Like family, but like being on camera talking to people through video camera? No?
No.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're gonna capture this too, and you've got the video guys here. We're actually going to capture every single step, so you get to see everything, all their, the good, the bad, and everything in between. We'll capture everything on screen. It's going to be fun. All right, let me scroll down here. The first template that I'm going to work with is going to be, let me take a look. There was one that I liked that I wanted to edit. Okay, EWB. Okay, I'm going to grab this template here so we can preview it, see how it looks. Okay, it's a very elegant, very simple, direct to the point. This will work really, really well for like email traffic. Okay, it's not Google compliant. Okay, and we're not going to be doing pay-per-click yet. We're going to get into that later on as we expand and scale your business. So we're gonna go after the lowest hanging fruit right now. When we will get to traffic generation, you guys, we're gonna show you traffic generation methods that will get you the results fast. Okay, same thing with you. And then as we're getting results and as we're moving forward and we're getting that money coming in, right? Then we're gonna be expanding, we're gonna be scaling, leveraging, and taking our business to yet another level. So this looks good to me. I will use this template. Click on the button, use the template. And the system is going to do what it does in the background. Boom, 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 build, boom, there's my page. Okay? And so I'm going to edit that page. Let's start with editing this first page. Okay? To edit it, I'm just going to double click on it. Double click. And now it's going to take me into the editor. Okay? See, I don't have to know any HTML code. I can just close this tour. I don't have to know any of the HTML code and anything like that. I can just basically, it says, enter pre-headline here, right? So what would I want it to say? We can say something like, let's say if our main headline is going to be, we can say something like, just we'll do this on the spot here. So I'm going to say Project Breakthrough. Actually, I'm going to do single quote here. Project Breakthrough. What's the, so you guys got the campaign blueprint, okay? Let's take a look at the campaign blueprint here, okay? We've got some headlines. We've got earn commissions in 14 days, okay? Understand how you did it again. Scale and leverage. So these are the top 3 benefits that we filled in. Okay, first time breaking news, we can do the industry. Okay, so I can say something for headline. Let's say, what if we said, I'll make your life easier, okay, by doing it with you, just because I don't want to take too much time, for you to redo this. But when you guys get the point, you'll be able to recreate it when you get home tonight.
Okay.
One of your assignments is going to be basically to recreate the same funnel for yourself.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, you basically make a copy of it. So I'm going to say something like project breakthrough, right? And how to very easily start earning. Again, I'm targeting somebody who wants to start earning money fast, right? Real money online in 14 days or less. Okay, I can say or be capital. Okay, so we just popped in this headline in there, right? Looks pretty easy, looks pretty good. Now it doesn't look right to me. Okay, I typically don't want to have headlines that are like 3-liners. I wanted to condense it. So here's one of my options. Okay, I can grab this and I can change the font on it. That's the first thing that I would do. Okay, I like the headline, but I want it to be, see if I can fit it in 2 lines. Okay, I can change the font, and let's say if I went, let's go impact. And I can preview it, okay? See this little eye right here?
Yeah.
If I click on it, it's gonna open up in the actual page, and it's gonna give me a preview of how it's gonna look like. Okay? So I still have 3 lines here. I don't like the 3 lines, so I will close the preview, and I will, let's take a look at another font here that we can potentially use. Let's see what we can come up with. You guys see anything that you like? Now, I don't really like the black. I think maybe burgundy would look nicer. See, what we can do here is we can change the color. Okay, so I'm going to highlight it, click on text color.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and let's say if I select, say if I pick this one here, right?
Is there a
And
way you can match it to the other color that was already used on the page?
yeah,
If it's,
like this color here.
yeah.
One shade lighter.
You know what? I kind of like this color, but I want to make real money online in 14 days or less. I want to make it stand out. Okay, so I can do that, and I can pick a little, maybe a slightly lighter, and let's see how that's going to look. So this color kind of matches the rest of the page here. Okay. And then this more for matches more of the arrow. So we can play with this. It gives you guys an idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gives you an idea what you can do with it. Gives you an idea what you can do with it. Here is my recommendation, okay, for you. As you're watching this, be a good modeler. Okay, don't necessarily copy word for word. Use whatever, use your imagination. Like, what would get your attention? If you don't resonate with this headline, that's fine. Use your imagination, and what would you resonate with? Okay, play with it. Create different versions of it. You want to have a landing page that, that's not, just like everybody else's landing page. We're going to teach you how to build, this kind of stuff from scratch, literally from a blank template, from a blank clean slate. And we're going to do that inside of the, elite membership. But for now, I want to give you enough ideas, right, and kind of put you on a road that you can follow to build this stuff for yourself. Now, for my pre-headline, here's what I can say. I can say something like this. What if I said, oh, this is my preview. I can edit this one, right? All right, so I'm just going to double click on it. I'm going to say attention, okay? And then what if I said in the next 2 minutes, you will discover. Okay, and we can make, look what we can do here. We can make attention. What if we made that, I want to do, I think we can match the fonts there too. What was this font again, Mark?
That was Oswald.
Oswald. See, all we're doing right now, my friend, is we're just, we are editing, right? And we're just being creative here. We're just, designing this how we want it to look like, Wait, oh, I think I just maybe saw that one somewhere. There it is. Okay. Now let's see if I made this. Maybe in the next 2 minutes you will discover. Okay, maybe I can do the same color on this one as well. Let's see how it's going to look in actual preview. Okay. What do you guys think?
I don't know if I'm crazy about the box around the text on top, the yellow box.
So the highlight?
Yeah.
Okay. We can play with it. We can remove it, and all you need to do to remove it is this is preview. Okay. Here, and we can go automatic and going to remove it. Okay. The idea here is we don't know how well it's going to convert until we start running it, right? So we want to get it good enough to get the traffic to it, and then we're going to be optimizing it as we're going. Okay, we're going to be optimizing it as we're going together. Now, here's my sub headline, right? So for my sub headline, somebody says, okay, so Project Breakthrough, how to very easily start earning, real money online in 14 days or less. Now, next, somebody's going to be like, okay, we'll consult our worksheet, same thing, campaign blueprint. See, that's why it's important. We're going to be circling back to this. What's our customer's biggest challenge? Well, they're overwhelmed. They don't have a step-by-step system. We agreed on, right? And then they don't have, they're just getting started. So they're perhaps working for somebody else. Here's what my sub-headline could say. Okay, it could be something like, maybe I can put it in parentheses. I can say, even if you're on a budget or have never made a dime online before.
That's good.
You like that? Mm-hmm. So this will talk to the person, and he'll be like, I've never done this before. I don't know if I can do this. Boom, that line is going to hook him again, right? Yeah. See, the whole idea behind this page is to get people to opt in, give you their email, and get to your list and move to the next step.
Right.
Okay. Now here is what I call the benefit or engagement statement. This is where we can further hook them, right, and further kind of pick their curiosity and their interest. And I can say something like this. I can tell them a little bit more about Project Breakthrough, perhaps, and I can say something like, an online phenomenon called, and we'll teach you guys all about copywriting and that kind of stuff. I just wanted to walk you through this as I'm thinking through this, right? So you can kind of get what's going on in my head. You guys are brand new, so you will learn about copywriting and everything. We're teaching this in the High Traffic Academy and Elite. You'll learn all this stuff, right? How to write compelling copy. Same thing for you, my friend. I wanted to put you on a path for you to start thinking about ideas, right? And how you can possibly create landing pages for yourself. I can say something like, okay, so online phenomenon called Project Breakthrough is taking the internet, oops, I don't want it to be all caps, I just wanted to emphasize Project Breakthrough, is taking the internet by storm, allowing average, ordinary people with no prior experience, I can put that in parentheses here, to earn real money online in as soon as 14 days flat. How you guys like that one?
It just corrects your spelling on ordinary.
On ordinary, let's see, ordinary. Okay, we're good.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Industries first true step-by-step guide. Okay, and look what I can do here. I can emphasize this. Jason yesterday he was telling you about the 1 second rule, right? Remember that? Like when you close your eyes, when you look at the page and you close, you look at the page for a second, you close your eyes, and then what do you see? What do you remember, right? Well, we can emphasize certain things and certain words and phrases on the page. For example, the subtle change in the font color, even though it's a similar, you know, it's the same font color family, right? The subtle change, even if we don't catch it consciously, our subconscious mind catches it, right? And so it's embedded commands, you know, as they call it, in the space. Same thing with these lines. So if I close my eyes, boom, you know, sometimes even if my conscious mind doesn't catch it, my subconscious mind will pick it up. Okay. All right. Now, so far so good, right? You guys with me? You, my friend, with me? Okay, making sense? You going along? Let's continue. All right, so we are progressing. Now, we got our, you know, we have our engagement statement here. Now, this is our call to action headline. For this particular, you know, I like this layout. It's very, very simple. It's elegant. It's to the point. You know, it's a letter based. So my call to action headline could be something like, I can say, you know, 100%, because Project Breakthrough is 100% free. People don't have to pay anything, right? So I can emphasize that. You know, so if somebody goes to the copy, and I want to put myself in my prospect's shoes, right? If I was my own prospect, if I was going through this, I'd be like, dude, this is awesome. I want to have it. How much is it going to cost me, right? So I want to immediately diffuse that thought by saying, hey, it's going to be 100% free enrollment. All right. Okay. See what I'm saying here? So I just immediately diffuse that thought, right? Potentially. And here is my call to action paragraph. Now this is optional. I don't have to do this. I can, you know, but as I like to have a flow to my funnel, right? I like to have the flow to the page. So, okay, 100% free enrollment. If I can put something, insert something in there, I might as well do that, right? Otherwise, it might look a little off. I can remove this box altogether, and by, you know, if I wanted to remove this section, all I can do is just see this. I can grab it, I click it, drag it to the left in the red, and it's going to be gone. Right? Simple as that. But I want to leave it here. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and type it up. I'm going to say something like this. I'm going to say enter. Enter. This is just my call to action. Okay, if I wanted to sell them on this again, right? I'm going to say enter your email address in the form below, and I will send you free instant access to Project Breakthrough. So we're basically we're basically reinforcing the message again here, right? That will show you how to start earning real money online in the next 14 days or less. Okay, and of course this is a little bit lengthy, so I can change the font here. Let's see if I did that same font as in the headline, and just made it non-bold. How would that look like? You know, Jason talked to you about the aesthetics of the landing page, right? So for me, it's you know, I like to see that stuff being handled. Okay, this. Let's take a look at how this will look in preview. Just not bad. I could probably make this maybe even smaller font, so that I don't go past the these lines here of the actual headline. Okay. Let's see if I go 16. Okay. Sometimes, you know, I deliberately want to have, if I have like a big bold headline or 100% free enrollment, and then people, we like, okay, so what's the catch, right? What's the catch? And then they're looking for the fine print. And sometimes if I do, you know, a small font here, then it will kind of force them to read it because they're looking for that fine print, like what's the catch here? And that's how I can take them through the process even further, right? So here they're going to enter their email address. The button is great. I'm going to keep it there. Additional information. You know what? I'm going to use this opportunity. See, it's got a fine print in there, right? It's at small, tiny letters. But here's what I'm going to say. Usually, this is my opportunity to get people to give me their actual good email instead of their fake email. How do I prevent as many of the fake emails to be entered, right? Well, I got to talk to the person in a way that that would make him want to give me his real email. Make sense? You get me? Okay, it makes sense, right? Here's how I'm going to do this. One of the strategies, and I like to implement this in all of my landing pages, I say something like this. I can say, I put an asterisk, and I can put this. This is 100% free service, okay? Because Project Breakthrough is free, right? I can say no credit card is required, because that's true. And then here's my magic line. Information will be sent to the email address provided above. See how I just did there, Mark?
Okay, so would this be like a double opt-in where you'd send them a link to have them or do it
No.
again, or you just want to verify?
No.
Okay.
I just do this. You don't have to do a double opt-in on here. This is a psychological thing, because if I send, if they read this, and most people will read this because it's like the fine print, like what's the catch, right? So I just told them, hey, this is a free service, no credit card required. Typically, in the fine print, it would say, this is, going to cost you this, whatever, right? Here, I'm just going the opposite direction. I'm going to say information will be sent to the email address provided above, so he will think twice about entering fake email there.
Okay.
That strategy works really, really well.
Makes sense.
So, right? In terms of privacy, we'll do that later. So, you guys, we pretty much have our, first page drafted. Okay, see that? And you know what I would do, Mark? I would actually highlight this. And the reason I would highlight this is to bring attention. Let's see, we'll go more colors. Maybe I don't do this as pronounced. Maybe I just do a subtle. See, I can pick all these different colors here. Let's see. Let's see which one we want to go with. It'd be kind of nice to match, or somewhat match the, oh, that's way hot. That's too hot. To balance it out, what I could do is I could kind of match the color of the button and match it up there, so it kind of balances the page, right? I may or may not, but let's give it a try. Why not? Okay, let's see if I do that. That's too strong. Okay, maybe I'm not going to do that. Okay. You know what? What I want to do is, there is a way for us to do this manually, and I don't want to spend the time right now. I'm going to teach it to you guys inside of the Elite later on, once we get past the program. And I'm going to teach you how to do the custom. Well, you know what? Look at this. This doesn't look too bad, and it gives it a little pop. A little pop. I like it. Right. A little bit later on, as you guys are going through the Elite trainings, we'll be talking about how do you color match? How do you use color pickers and stuff like that. It's really, really more advanced stuff, a lot of fun. Okay. I just don't want to take the time right now because we don't really need to take the time. Now, here's what we need to do next, Mark. We've created our landing page, okay? You, my friend, if you're following us right now, we just created a landing page. I need to save it. Very, very important. See this at the top? And I drop down. I'm going to click on Publish Now. I'm going to publish this page, okay? And I'm going to click on Publish again. If I don't publish it, it's not going to be saved, okay? And I'm going to click OK. And then I can go back to my funnel. Okay? Now, when I get back here, see, this edited page is already there. So if I start sending traffic, people will see that page. But we don't send traffic yet because it's not connected to anything yet, right? So next, when they get here, they opt in, they'll go to a thank you page. So we need to create a thank you page. Okay. To do that, same thing, I just double clicked on it, and I'm going to pick all the templates here. I'm going to scroll down, and I believe we have a template that matches that one that we can use. Let's double check here. Okay, there's one. Okay, there's a template matching the landing page. So we can modify this template. Perfect. Click on Use this template, and we're going to use that as a thank you page template. Okay, boom. See, it just popped in there. I want to double click on it again, and I'm going to edit it. Okay, because I'm going to say success. So put yourself in your prospect's shoes. They just opted into that page. What do we want them to see next? And there needs to be a flow. There needs to be, it's got to be resistance free, right? So it needs to be a very smooth transition. Does that make sense? You with me? All right. So I can say, okay, so if I was to opt in, what else would get me further down into the funnel? Okay, Next logical step is, okay, success, great, right? It's awesome. So my stuff worked. Here, and this is just example purposes, we can modify this if we want to. So this particular default thank you page, it says, hey, important, please read. Congratulations, you're about to get access to arguably the most powerful money-making system in existence. In a few minutes, you will receive an email from, and this is where we can insert your names, right, which is, make it personal, with your private link to start Project Breakthrough, okay? Now, this particular template is designed for Project Breakthrough. I kind of did it with a beta version of Project Breakthrough, so it was custom built. It's available to you guys, so we might as well use it. Be sure to check your email in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I think there's a little typo here that we need to fix as well. You can also get free access to Project Breakthrough by clicking the button below, and boom, there's a button. So it basically tells them that they need to check their email, or they can access it right now by just clicking the button. Okay. Now, what I could do, there's two things we can do. Okay. We can leave this the way it is, or modify it, of course, with your name, or we can remove this completely and just say success. Get instant access. Have a button. Okay. Let me ask you guys this. Which one would you resonate with more? Which one would be more a smoother flow for you if you were going through this funnel?
I like this. The important, please read, the congratulations, you're about to gain access, the best money-making system. I think it reinforces the point again that they go through Project Breakthrough, they're going to learn how to make money quickly. I like that. I would keep it.
So you would keep it?
Yeah, I would keep it.
Okay,
More validity here.
Okay, awesome. Cool, then we'll keep it. So what we do is, let's say if I wanted to remove this, right? See if I hover over this text area, it gives me a little border around it. And if I just click on it, I can drag it to the left, and I just removed it. Okay, but we're going to keep it. So, okay, we're going to keep it. In the next few minutes, you'll get an email from, and, if we say Mark, right? From Mark, or however your email from line is going to say, whichever that's going to say, we're going to enter it here. So you're making a connection between your name, you're putting your name, to your funnel. So you're making that connection early, right? Mark and you want to say Chris or Kristen?
Kristen, it's good.
Barley, right? Perfect. In the next few minutes, you'll receive an email from Mark. We can put it in like this, so we can make it stand out a little bit, with your private link to start, and we can say Project Breakthrough to be on a different line, like that. Start Project Breakthrough. Be sure to check your email in the next, we don't need an A there, in the next 5 to 10 minutes. You can also get free access to this button. Okay, cool. Everything looks good. I'm going to publish it. I'm going to click on Publish. Okay, publish our funnel. And we are done, you guys. Okay, we are done. We are done with this particular one. Now, here's something else we're going to do. See that we just created this particular. Took a little bit because I was explaining, but if you knew what you were doing, right? If you played around with this a little bit, you can do that in like 5-10 minutes, right? Super simple. Okay, so email sequence, this stuff we'll worry about this later after we have generated traffic. Okay, so we'll come back to that later. Next thing is I'm going to pop this landing page in here, and what I'm going to do here, you guys, is I will select a template, and this one is going to be a video version. Okay. A video version. So what we could do, hold on one sec here, we will pick one, something that we think is pretty awesome. Let's see. Let's do all 140 templates. Let's see which one would be a good one for video. So I'm going to use this one right here. It says this one, and the reason I want to do this one is because it's got it's a very simple page. Look, okay, it's a very simple page, and it's got the above the fold call to action button. Okay, and then it's also got this button here that we can create. Now for this page, let's say if I wanted to do something a little bit different. Of course, we're going to have you guys shooting video tomorrow, right? And I'm going to walk you through the process. Jason and I will teach you how to do great videos. Here I can say, we can target something to be super generic, right? We can just basically say how to earn real money online? Okay, or would you like to earn real money online? There's something to that effect. We can split test it, and we'll split test it, you know, all kinds of versions of the page. For now, I just want to create something that's just good enough just to start getting me traffic to it. My subheadline, okay, I can say industries first. See, and I'm just going to consult your guys' notes here, right, Campaign Blueprint, because we can pull some of these headlines and some of these bullet points here. Industries first, step by step. Guide to making real money without overwhelm. See, I'm just pulling out the headline, the bullet points that we created, and the challenges that our perfect customer might have. A frustration that works. Get full access, 100% free. Okay.
I think you need to add like feeling after without.
Yeah.
So industry's first step-by-step guide to making real money online without feeling overwhelmed.
Okay.
Or frustrated.
Or frustrated, yeah.
Without feeling overwhelmed.
Or frustrated.
Okay. Cool. You guys are getting this. That's good. That's good. See what I'm saying here? I'm basically I'm how to earn money online, and then if people go like, okay, is this, what's the catch there, right? Or I've never done it before, or I've tried it before, and this headline or this subheadline is going to diffuse that thought right away, right? Industry's first step by step, and we can actually emphasize step by step guide. We can probably make it bold, okay? Step by step guide to making real money online without feeling overwhelmed or frustrated. That works, and maybe I can emphasize that works. Okay.
We'll type one frustrated too.
Frustrated.
There we go.
Get full access, 100% free. Okay. So something like that. Now, here I can say, watch this video and discover. Okay. What if I said, do you want to? And then fill in these bullet points here. Is I'm going to just say, finally earn your first commission online, right? So if somebody wants to earn their first commission, if they never made money, that would be really exciting to them, right? Earn their first commission. Step number two, what are the 3 benefits of Project Breakthrough? Again, earn a commission, understand how you did it, right? And then scale and leverage. So we can use those 3 bullet points right here, go in there perfectly, right? So then we can say bullet number 2 is understand, and of course I can add more if I wanted to, I can remove it, that kind of stuff. Understand how to do it over and over again. And then finally, right, our bullet number 3 is scale and grow your business exponentially. Okay. Now, I don't want to have this be in blue and the rest in black, so I'm just going to put this one in black as well. Okay, and I don't want that to be bolded. Okay. Now, see how this button is pushed up a little bit here. Let's take a look at this page in preview, so we can actually see the full size of it. When I click on the preview, okay, perfect. So the video, right, and the button's kind of pushed up a little bit. I need to bring the button down, right? So to do that, I will go and select the button. See, when I select, look at this area right here. See, it says text settings. If I click on the button, okay, look, it says button settings. So now I'm working with the button element, with the button itself, okay? So it's giving me options right now. So I can position it. I can see this here, arrows. I can bring it down. I can bring the button down, okay? And what I can do also is, if I wanted to, see it says button text over here. This particular text, it's got this stuff in here. Look, what I can do is I can copy this whole thing. Just go highlight everything, go copy. So what I can do is go ahead and just bring my little notepad here. I'm gonna paste that code, okay? Now, you guys don't need to know all of this stuff, But what I can do is I can play with these right here. It says font size, okay, 40, and then line height says 30. So what if I change the line height from 30 to 40, okay? And copy the code and just repaste the code in here. Okay, it would make the button a little bit taller. I want to make it a little bit wider maybe. Let's take a look at how it looks. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that can do. That can do. Well, once we pop the video in there, that's going to be nice. Okay, so next we have this line here. Okay, so if you want to do this, it kind of flows, right? Then click below and get the videos in this series. I don't want to say video in this series. I want to say then, I want to say this. I want to say then click below to see how to start your training 100% free. How about that, right? And then see this little arrow, right? Let's move it up. All I can do is click on it and drag it to the top above the text, okay, and drop it there. So now we just switched, okay, and click the button below, and there is a flow to this. And when I click on the button here, okay, get your free training now. You know what? This is good. Get your free training now. It's congruent with that. Okay, I don't want the Site Suite logo necessarily, or I can just remove it like that. Very, very easy. Okay, see that? So I will preview it again and see how my page looks. Look at that. How to earn real money online. Okay, I can maybe I can perhaps even make that.
Is your CTA above the phone?
Maybe even bigger. Here's my CTA. Yep,
It is.
that's my CTA. That's my call to action button. Now we didn't program these buttons yet. We're going to connect the dots tomorrow. That's what the tomorrow is all about. We're going to connect all these dots and link everything together. Right now we just wanted to have, to have this structure, to build a skeleton. I'm going to publish this. Okay, I'm going to click on Publish Now and exit out. And guess what? We're almost done. Okay, I will create a thank you page for it. Just click on Thank You Page. And I will select, see it says thank you pages here. I can select a thank you page, right? This first one is super simple. Look at this. So if we use this, right? It's very simple. It's got blue colors, so it matches it matches the design. So I can say this. I can get rid of Site Suite. I don't need the Site Suite logo there. See how I do that? Just click, drag to the left. Okay, I might actually have it, this graphic here. I can put here, here's what we can do, okay? I've got an idea. Here's what we can do. I can put a headline in this box, in this header, okay? See, I'm gonna go and click on Add New and click on Headline. This is a good example. And I'm just gonna select a headline and drag it over here, okay? Put this headline in there. And I can center it. See this? I can center it. I can left indent or right indent. I can center my headline, and I want to make the text white. Okay, and I can increase the color, or the font size rather. I can go for like probably 42 more. That's still small. Let's go 56. Okay, let's say go 64. And I can say this. I can say success. Okay? Just like that. Now if I wanted to, I could also move the headline down just a little bit. See this button? I can move it down just a little bit. I can just kind of center it. Right? Again, you're just working with it. You're just playing around with this. Look, my friend, just have fun. All right? Don't get bogged down into little tiny details here. You can basically edit it as much as you want or as little as you want, right? Just make it look nice. Have fun with it. Let's see if I can go past 64. I can go 72, make it a little bit even bigger, right? Nice. Now I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this black bar here. Just click it, drag, or actually, I can put it to the bottom. How about that? I can put it in the way bottom. Okay, just like that. And here I will say, here's what I'm going to say. Success. I'm going to get rid of this paragraph. I don't need it. Okay, I'm just going to select it and remove it. And here, I'm going to say, look, I'm going to say click here to start your training. Okay, and I can make this a little bit smaller font, perhaps 42. And guess what the click here is going to be, guys? Any ideas? This will be a hyperlink.
Okay, right.
See what I'm saying? This will be a clickable link. So when I say click here, when I preview this, okay, it's a very, very simple thank you page, but it just takes them through the flow. Success, click here to start your training. Boom. They just said yes to that, to the previous page. They're going to click on this link, and it's going to take them to your affiliate page for Project Breakthrough. Okay. Now the reason I want to have this page in here is because when we're connecting the dots, we're going to be implementing what's called tracking and conversion scripts. Okay, simple simple stuff, and we're going to be tracking how many people are clicking on this link versus how many visitors you got, so we can establish those conversions. It's going to be important. Okay. Now I don't really like this this black bar here, so I'm just going to get rid of it. I don't need it. Okay, get rid of that, and keep it super, super simple. Get rid of everything else. Okay, and get rid of that as well. Okay, just like that.
Yeah, that's good.
So just take people through the flow, take them through the process. I'm going to publish it. We'll be connecting the dots tomorrow. Okay. Okay, and again we can preview it and go back to the builder, and we're done with page number 2. Now page number 3, you guys, is we're going to do that one a little bit later. Okay, page number 3 is we're going to dedicate to Facebook marketing. When we start talking about Facebook traffic, and Jason will tell you about the specifics, what you need to have in the campaign for Facebook traffic. What kind of pictures, what kind of angles work well for Facebook. Then we will build that one together for Facebook specifically. Does that make sense? So I'd like to keep one for Facebook specifically because Facebook is a phenomenal traffic source, but you need to understand some principles, how to do that. All right, so let's see what we've done so far. So get rid of that little note. Okay, so we have created a campaign structure, right? Bam, we can check that one off. We created 2 versions of landing pages. Check, right? We need to get a domain, and then we need to do this stuff, which is going to be super, super easy to do. Okay, so Mark, what we need to do now is we need to go and open up an account with Namecheap, okay, which is a registrar that we recommend. There's GoDaddy, there is Namecheap, there is other things you can go to or other registrars. We recommend Namecheap. For the most part, they are cheaper than GoDaddy, they're cheaper than any other registrar, and they're really, really good. They're a reputable registrar, okay? So we're going to go to Namecheap here, and we're going to search for a domain, okay? So the reason we want to do this, let me explain to you. See, if I have this landing page, okay, if I click on it, see this little link over here? Let's say, Mark, if you are at the bar, or you at the store, or you at the, wherever, right, at work, and buddy of yours goes, hey, Mark, what are you doing? And you're like, yeah, dude, I'm making money online, right? He goes, really? That's awesome. What's your URL? Can I check it out? Do you really want to tell him to go to that URL? HTTP, Mark Barley for it, that site, blah, 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 right? Nobody's going to remember it, okay? That's why we need something called a domain name, specific domain name, to where we're going to take that domain, like markbarley.com, for example, and we're going to connect it to that page. So when he goes to markbarley.com, he's going to end up there.
Okay.
Make sense? Now, to do that, of course, I don't recommend using your first name, last name for stuff like this because this is a product-specific funnel. Once you get, once you get to the point where you start teaching people what you do and you want to create your own brand, then you would create something like markbarley.com.
Okay.
Here is what I want to do. I want the page, the domain to be relevant for what you're promoting. Okay. So if Project Breakthrough, if we're promoting apples, we don't want to have a page that's going to say, getyouripad.com. see what I'm saying? If we're promoting Project Breakthrough, we're not going to say something like, becomeskinny.com, that kind of stuff. It's just common sense. But I see so many people, they think they have a domain name for a weight loss, for example, and they think that they can use that domain name across everything else in the world. Right. It's a mistake. So I just wanted to point that out. I know it's an extreme example, but just to point that one out. So I'm going to go to Namecheap. I'm going to provide the link for you, my friend, in the to-dos list, right, on your resources section here on the right. And you can do the same. Just follow along. Namecheap is a great registrar. They're inexpensive. I think it's going to cost you like $10-11 a year to get a really good domain name. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't pay more than that, by the way. And we need to get a .com. No .net, no .infos, none of that stuff. .com, go for .com all the time. Okay, it's very easy. Now, any ideas, you guys, that you might have right now for a potential domain?
How about
anything that comes to your mind?
Like your free breakthrough.
Let's check it out. Yourfreebreakthrough.com. So I'm going to type it in. Yourfreebreakthrough.com. Enter and see if it's available. Oh, wow. I honestly didn't think that would be available. That's awesome. Yourfreebreakthrough.com. Okay, you want to stick with that one?
Yep, I like it.
Okay, perfect. We're going to click on Add to Cart. And we are going to View Cart. And then, Mark, what I'm going to have you do is we're going to confirm order. And you will create yourself an account. And that's going to add that domain to that list.
Got it.
Okay? Since, while Mark is doing that, let me ask you, my friend, how are you? Is everything making sense? I know we've been going through a lot of stuff here, right? It's been a workshop. I told you it's a workshop. It's not, we talked a lot about theoretical stuff. Now everything comes to action, right? And so I want you to, I'm deliberately taking, the time to explain things that are, if you're watching this, if you've been doing this for any period of time, you're like, Vic, I already know that. I got it. But listen, there's thousands of people watching this program right now. And a lot of them have never done this before. A lot of them don't understand why we do what we do, right? So I wanted you to make sure that you understand, the psychology, the thinking behind this kind of stuff. And it's going to get funner. It's going to get even deeper as we progress. But before we start sending traffic, right, we want to make sure that our system is solid, okay? That way when we send traffic to it, we know it's going to convert, and we're going to be optimizing that every single day, okay? It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
We're all good?
Ready to go.
Nice. All right, so you made a purchase for the domain. Perfect. So you create an account, got a purchase for the domain. Let's go to your domain manager. Okay, yourbreakthrough.com. We're going to click on Manage Domain. So here is the next step, you guys. Okay, the next step is we just got a domain name, so we just registered. You can check that one off. Okay, nice. If you're following along, my friend, here's a couple of words about domain name. It needs to be relevant. It needs to be easy to remember, and it needs to be congruent with with what you're doing. Does that make sense? So think of whatever, if you're promoting Project Breakthrough, think through the domain you might use. If you are applying these strategies for anything else, think how that domain might look like. Okay. Now, next, we need to link this domain, right, yourfreebreakthrough.com that Mark you just created. How do we link that domain to this entire system here, okay, to the site suite? It's actually really, really simple, very, very easy. So we're going to work on step number 4, and we're almost done here. We're almost to the end. It's super, super simple. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to our registrar. We're going to go to our Namecheap, okay? And the domain we just created, okay, it's yourfreebreakthrough.com. Here it is. I'm going to click on Manage. Okay, click on Manage that domain. And I will go to Advanced DNS. So step number 1, manage your domain that you just created. Step number 2, you click on Advanced DNS. Okay, don't worry about what it stands for, what it means, anything like that. Just follow and do what I do. It's super simple. Advanced DNS. Now here, see it says CNAME record. Okay, currently it says parking page namecheap.com. So that domain is pointing right now to Namecheap, registrar. We want that domain to point to our site suite, system. All I'm going to do here, Mark, okay, is I'm going to click on this. You don't change the host. The host should say www. The type should be CNAME record. That's the one we're working with. Okay, and then we're just changing the value. Okay, just changing the value here. I'm going to say I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to simply type in sitesuite.com. And I'm going to change this TTL to say automatic. Okay, and I'm going to click this little green checkbox or check, icon. Boom, just like that. Okay, so next, I'm going to come back to my site suite. Okay, so you with me so far? Okay, Mark, make sense?
Yeah.
Very easy, right? So my friend, again, if you want to pause this video, and so you can follow along. Very easy. Change CNAME in your registrar to sitesuite.com for the value. That's it. Next, we're going to come back to SiteSuite here. I'm going to go to my profile, right here, drop down, profile. I'm going to go to account settings, okay? Might seem a little technical, it's not, okay? It's very, very easy to do. Okay, my settings, and I'm going to go to domains, okay? See this domains here? Click on domains, and I will add a domain, okay? Click that add domain button. If you don't have, Mark has been playing with his site suite for for a little bit here, so he already got a couple. So now what you're going to do here is you are going to simply enter the domain that you just registered, that you just created, okay? So that domain is yourfreebreakthrough.com. yourfreebreakthrough.com, okay? I'm going to click on add this domain. It's going to say processing. And it's going to do it's going to do its thing. It's going to connect, the system with the domain, and I'm going to say, okay, I've got that. And then I can go back here. Okay, I'll go back to my account settings. So that's all you have to do. Okay, so you just enter your domain in there, and it might take, sometimes it's instant connection, sometimes it needs to propagate throughout the internet, and sometimes it might take 12 minutes, sometimes up to 24 hours at the very most. I haven't seen anything more than 24 hours, depending on how busy the servers are in the domain registrar and stuff like that. So that's all. Okay, that's all we have to do. So we just linked our domain to our funnel. Okay, and again, my friend, if you're following this, just pause the video, do what I do, you have no problems. Okay, final step, you guys, we need to set up what's called a default homepage. Okay, a default homepage. Basically, what this means is when we start sending traffic to any one of these pages, or just in general to the domain that we just registered. Okay, for example, if you talk to your buddy, okay, and he says, hey, what's your website? And you say, yourfreebreakthrough.com, right? This is the domain we just registered. He will go there. Where do you want him to end up? That's called a default homepage. Make sense? So we can send him to this page, or this page, or create another page. It's going to be up to us. Okay. So that's really, really powerful, right? So that root URL for your domain. For now, I'm just going to set it to this one, just for example purposes here. We can change it later at any time. To do that, I'm going to double click on the page that I want to be my default homepage. So when he goes to yourfreebreakthrough.com, where do you want him to end up? Okay, let's say it's this first page, just for example's sake here. Double click on it. I need to click at the top. It says lead capture page. See, it's got no name. Okay. Number one, I need to name it. I'm going to say, how do we want to name this page? I want to say, let's see, because this is going to show up in the URL. We can say money in 14 days. Okay? Money in 14 days. And then, see, it says set as a homepage. I just simply click on this checkbox mark, and it's going to say, you sure you want to do that? I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say okay.
Nice and easy.
Simple as that. And I want to publish the funnel. Every time I'm going to make a change to the funnel whatsoever, I need to republish it. It's going to resave it. It's going to push out to our servers. See, the cool thing about this, Mark, is you don't have to pay for hosting and servers or anything like that. Everything is handled for you by SiteSuite.
So easy.
So when we make all these changes, it pushes out to the servers. You don't even have to pay anything extra for that.
Great.
We're going to go back to our funnel builder. Let it save the work, okay? And then finally, before we wrap this up, we need to publish our funnel. The entire funnel. We've been publishing individual pages. Now we need to publish this entire funnel onto the server, okay? To do that, I'm just going to click anywhere in the gray, okay? Anywhere in the gray. Look what happens at the top. It says funnel saving. First, it's going to save the funnel. It's going to take a little bit, okay? Now it says publish funnel, okay? I'm going to click this publish funnel button. And then it's going to take all these pages and it's going to publish it out, right? See, it's giving you URLs for each page specifically if you want to do that. We're not going to worry about it now, okay? I just wanted to make sure that the funnel is published.
Okay.
And you guys, we just created a really, really solid foundation for the next step in the process. This is pretty much going to be your business for the first 14 days. That's how it's going to look.
Really cool.
And then it's going to evolve. We're going to add to it later on as we work together in the elites. So you guys excited?
Yes,
Yeah.
very.
Awesome.
That looks cool.
Let me ask you, my friend, right here with us virtually in this room. Is this easy or what? Right? Hopefully you've been following along, and I know it's been a long session, right? But it's a workshop. You need to see what I'm clicking. You need to see what's going on, right? And so hopefully you appreciate us taking the time that we took to really walk you through the process so that you can see and you can model as well for yourself, right? What we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to be connecting the dots. We're going to be taking these pages, we're going to be linking them to the autoresponder. We're going to be linking them to our spy tools that you guys got. We're going to be linking them to the optimization tools and tracking tools and all that stuff. We're going to connect everything together, and then we're going to be ready for traffic generation.
Great.
Once we start feeding this with traffic, and of course tomorrow we're also going to take the pages and thank you pages and connect it to your actual affiliate link so you can get paid when somebody goes to the process, right?
That's important.
And then the only thing we do is, yeah, right? And then we just feed it with traffic, and people are going through your funnel. You guys are getting paid. They're going through the funnel. And the thing is, I want to reinforce this again because this is super, super, super awesome, okay? We talked about this. We talked about this yesterday, I believe, right? Or the day before yesterday, actually. Yeah, Jason was with you guys yesterday doing the session. You remember this?
Yes.
Okay? 2 phases of Project Breakthrough. What we just created was a wrapper. It was a custom wrapper right here. This, my friend, you'll get a link tomorrow. Okay, we'll link this. This is your money machine. This it's gonna give you, if you guys are elites right now, congratulations. So you just opened yourself up full 27 income streams. Mm-hmm. So what happens here is somebody goes to your traffic. They go to your landing page, they will end up on your list, they will be going through through the pages that we created, and this is Project Breakthrough. See what I'm saying? So you just created your own little world prior to Project Breakthrough, and when they get here, you're done. You just let the system do what it's doing, and you guys are getting paid.
That's great.
Okay? So it's very, very simple. You guys are elites. I want to talk to you, my friend. Are you an elite yet? Okay? Get to the elite if you're not there yet, because as soon as we start sending traffic here, you guys are going to be making money in the next few days, because this is very, very quick and easy money. Okay? If you're running with us, you want to make sure you have it ready. Okay? Here's your assignment for today. Your assignment is this. Okay, today's assignment. Build a custom funnel. Okay? We strongly recommend you use SiteSuite. What I just showed you is the beginning of something even greater. If you use any other funnel builders out there, you can. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do yourself. But if you are here and if you're committed, if you're going to listen to me, if you're going to be following and just modeling the process, you're going to follow my footsteps. Trust the process. Okay? Don't question. Don't say, can I use this? Can I use that? Just say, Vic, I'm going to give myself a chance to succeed for 30 days. Give it a shot for 30 days. Give it a shot as if your life depended on it. Go through it as if you knew you couldn't fail. Okay? So what's going to happen is when you use SiteSuite, you will be able to follow along and do everything that we do. Step number one is you'll build your custom funnel today. For you guys, your assignment is you will basically replicate what we just did for yourself. So you understand. So you just did it again, right? So you can do it again for yourself at any time. Now next, you'll create at least 2 opt-in landing pages. Okay, we just created it together. All you gotta do is just replicate it, just so you understand the process. For you, my friend, if you're following along, just do that for yourself. Create 2 versions so you can split test them. Okay, when we run traffic, you will get yourself a domain name. We just walked you through the process. You can review the video if you need to, and then you will connect your domain with your custom funnel. I just showed you how to do that. It's a CNAME connection, right? So you type in you connect it through a CNAME. Again, if you need to rewatch this video, feel free. And then finally, you will set up your funnel's default homepage. That can change at any time later, but as of today, your homework is to set that up so you have this ready for tomorrow. Okay? Tomorrow, we're going to be connecting the dots. You want to make sure you have this ready and done. If you need to watch this video 15 times, do that. You want to make sure you understand it. You want to make sure you have all the tools, you've got the domain, you've got the funnel ready, you've got everything ready for tomorrow, right? I appreciate you. Congratulations for sticking through this. It's a long session, I know, and you're still here, you're still watching. Congratulations. I applaud you. Great job. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Mark, Chris, great job, you guys.
Thank you.
Great session. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.